Can I say this point, Adrian, because it needs to be made here? I mean, I seen on the news today that the people on the dole are not taking jobs, they're not taking courses, they're not taking anything. They're just taking what suits them. Now, Jesus! Oh my God Almighty!
What happened to you there?
The windows are broken.
Oh, your windows have to be
Yeah, my windows have to be put in.
Oh, I don't believe you.
I'm serious.
With a brick?
Yeah, couriers around here. I'll have to bring down the law.
Okay, go on, John. We let you go.
Okay.
Oh, he's after having his windows smashed. My God, we'll ring him back in a second. He's back on the line now. John, how are you?
How you doing, Adrian? Now, I can tell you now, this is not going to go unnoticed. You have a number there that one of them scumbags rang in on.
I've a few texts that come in to us, yes.
Can you give me them numbers, because I want to pass them on, because I can guarantee you it's probably the locals in this area, and I need to take them out now. And if you can pass them on to the police, the Finglas police, or tell them now what numbers you have, because these people now need to be taken up, and I will see them in court.
John, was that anything to do with the fact that you're on this programme?
Nothing got to do with this, Adrian. I've been living in this area for a long time. There's been a lot of problems with the local scum of this area, who think that they can intimidate and they can break people's windows and they can do what they can get away with. And this is the point. This is the point now I'm going to make, that these people now will be taken up by the council, because I fully intend to find out who they are and take them up in front of the council and have them expelled from this area. Because I can tell you one thing, I'm not the first one here who has been terrorised by these tow rags in this area. But I can tell you this, that will not go unnoticed tonight. And it's nothing got to do with your programme. At the end of the day, people will always have their opinions, whether they like you or hate you. But at the end of the day, this is an act of violence. This is an act of violence against me. And I can tell you one thing now, I want to know who these people are, and I want them in court. And I guarantee you, they will not be in this area, and I will take them up through the council as well, because I can guarantee you this place is full of people who are council tenants and need to be addressed, and addressed now.
And is this the first time something like this has happened to you?
No. My mother's attacked in this house. My mother's passed on, and she was attacked by the same scumbags around that corner. Hazelcroft, Clonlara. That's exactly what you're talking about. Now, if you want to put that in your programme and put that out on the airline, you have little wimpy shits in this area who are hiding in their beds now, who think that they can come and intimidate people in this area and get away with it. And I don't care who knows me and who doesn't know me.
That's what I was about to say. Are you not making things worse for yourself by even talking to me now?
I want them to come back now, because I guarantee you they'll have to take me out now, because I won't stop until I have each and every one of them behind bars or the council evicting them from their homes. Now, what they done there tonight, at the end of the day, I will take them up on it. And there's no way I will live in fear in my own area because of local scum like that.
And you say your mother was attacked in...
My mother was attacked here in this house. And by the way, my middle name is John, so people needn't bother getting on their high horse about it. The point I'm saying here tonight is my mother was attacked in this house a year ago with snowballs. She couldn't leave an agent to give you. I didn't want to bring this up on the air, but she couldn't leave her house. She couldn't walk them roads because the scum were interrogating her and they were harassing her to the point where the poor woman couldn't even live in her own home, and she subsequently died only about 6 months ago. She couldn't leave her own home. She couldn't walk her own area in peace. Now, I've no fear from these yokes in the area, so I will tell you one thing, Adrian.
And are you happy to tell me where you are, what area we're talking about?
We're talking about Finglas. We're talking about Fairlawn Road here now. And we're talking about scum that lives up in Hazelcroft and Clonlara. And if they want to come down here tonight now with their faces...
I know, don't try to be all brave, John.
No, Adrian, it's gone past that. It's gone past that now. Nobody in this area can live in peace. Nobody in this area can walk their roads in peace. At the end of the day, these people need to be taken out. And that's the end of it. Now, I normally don't get on the air and give any guff out of me or any of this kind of stuff. But I'll tell you one thing. These people now, what they done tonight is not going to go on.
Okay, so this is where... you've decided... that you're happy to identify where you are, because I want to help you find the little tow rags that did this. Okay.
Hand our information to the Finglas police, and they'll do the rest. God, they know exactly who they are. I know exactly who they are. I'm after telling the police who they can look for in this area for the that attack tonight. And I can guarantee you now, I urge them to come down now and face me face to face, because they haven't the balls.
No, they haven't, no.
They haven't the balls. And I'll tell you one thing, Adrian. When I'm finished with them, they might be looking at me. When I get to that council, I'll have a council officer down here tomorrow. I had the police down who took the 2 bricks.
John, I would be a bit concerned about you being so, speaking so publicly about it.
Adrian, it's gone past that.
You don't care, do you not?
It's gone past that, Adrian. You can't live in these areas because of these people. These people, this house has been attacked day in, day out by these local thugs. Now, I have went to the council. I went to the police to get these matters sorted out. Now, my mother lived in fear all her life here. I won't. But I tell you one thing I will do. I'll tell you what I will do with them. I've already brought the police down. They've already took the bricks out of here. But I'll tell you what I will do. Tomorrow I'll bring a councillor down tomorrow, and I will show them the damage they've done. And the numbers you have there tonight, I will find out who's behind them. And when I get addresses, I will be sending both the council and the police to their front door. And then the next time they want to throw a brick at somebody's window, they might think twice. Because that's what needs to be done in these low-class areas.
See, my worry is, John, that you are...
Adrian,
squaring up to these scumbags could be counterproductive.
I don't care. These people, you can't fear these tow rags. There's enough decent people in this area. And I can guarantee it to you, there's enough scumbags in this area as well that need to be put out years ago. Now, I've had an awful lot of trouble with scumbags in this area. But I can tell you one thing. That's tonight now is a new low for them. And I can tell you one thing. I will be finding out who they are. I've been assaulted already in this area. I didn't want to bring this up, but I've already been assaulted by a gang in this area only about a month ago by the same tow rags going around the area. I brought that to the police.
And have they a particular issue with you, or is it?
There's a particular issue with anybody down here that disagrees with them.
And where are these young fellas from?
These young lads, at the moment, I seen 2 running away. They were running towards the Hazelcroft or Cloonlara Road area. So it's not hard to find out who they are. And I'm putting this on the air tonight because I want them shits out there to know tonight that I've already engaged the police and I will engage the council tomorrow. And when I get their numbers and get their details and get their houses where they're living, I will have both the police and the council at their door. And I won't stop now till they're gone, until something's done about this area. Because I can guarantee you, this is a topic all in itself, that people like me should never have to live like that. Let it be a low-class area, middle-class or high-class. It doesn't make a difference. Everybody has the right to live, and nobody has to put up with this carry-on. And I can tell you tonight now, Adrian, I am fuming.
I don't blame you. I don't blame you fuming, John. I really don't.
Intimidation won't scare me away. Because I'll tell you one thing, that just makes my resolve even harder to go after them. And I'm not one bit afraid to take them out and go after them. And I guarantee you, I'll hunt them down one by one if necessary and get them out of this area once and for all.
I admire your bravery, John. No, I hope it's not foolhardy bravery.
It's not bravery. It's at the end of the day, Adrian, it's not bravery. At the end of the day, there's people like me who are trying to live a normal, decent life, and because of scumbags and the likes of these areas, you can't. As I said, my mother couldn't walk them roads in peace because she was tormented by the same scumbags who obviously probably put them windows in there tonight. And I can guarantee you one thing, I won't live like that. And I will make sure that I hunt these fuckers down once and for all. And I'm not going to stop.
Okay, stay there for 1 second, John. 6797104 is our telephone number. The lines are open to you. Tommy, you're on FM104. How are you, Tommy?
Not too bad, Adrian.
Now, Tommy, what do you make of what we've been hearing here? A man's window smashed in live on the radio.
Don't worry about it.
John, I'm sick over it. I'm absolutely sick over it.
No, Adrian, it's not a sick point. You have people in society, as I've already said to you, that have nothing on the head, only scumbaggism and evilism. And I'll tell you one thing, they need to be rooted out and put out of these council areas, and that's exactly what I'm going to do now. They gave me the chance now to go after them like they've never been gone after before.
John, can I come in there, please?
Yeah, go on, Tommy, yeah.
Yes, fire ahead.
John, I agree wholeheartedly with you, and I'm listening to the show fairly regular, and I've listened to you and your opinions on the show, and I've agreed with you and I disagreed with you. But I would just say, and I would agree with Adrian, you I agree with you to go after them and everything, and I wish you the best of luck. But the types of scumbags that they won't come and meet you face to face.
Oh, they won't.
They'll
No,
do
they're lowlives.
exactly what they done tonight again.
No, they won't.
I would just urge you to be very careful in what way you approach it.
These scumbags won't meet me face to face because they're afraid I'll identify them, and they're afraid because the thing about these areas. Now, you've heard me talking about low class areas, but the thing about low class areas is the people that are carrying on in there are afraid to identify themselves because they're hiding behind their council houses, they're hiding behind their big friends. And are afraid now that they will be put out of the area. But I can tell you one thing: I was expecting this. Why
were you expecting it, John?
I was, because we've had trouble in this area for the last 30 years in this area. We've had trouble.
My biggest concern is, John, the what seems like an awful coincidence that it happened as you're speaking on the biggest radio show in Dublin at night.
No, it's nothing got to do with that, Adrian. But the point of the matter is, this is a thing that's being brewing for. This is obviously like two little toe rags now who said, we'll put that fella's window in and he won't come after us again. He'll be afraid to say boo to us. But let me tell you now, lads, I'm not afraid to say boo to you. I'll just go after you one by one and take you out one by one. So if you think that's going to stop me, it's not. So the point about
Tommy, you're advising caution here, Tommy. Is that really what you're saying?
Definitely, because I agree with you, Adrian. Because as I said, they haven't the balls to come out face.
I'll tell you another thing, Adrian. I'll tell you another thing tonight that I need to get out in this area. If I take a diabetic attack, and I am a diabetic, and a bad one.
Okay.
If I take a diabetic attack and I have heart trouble, if I take a diabetic attack and I take a heart attack tonight, I will have everybody in this square, Cloonlarda, Hazelcroft, Fairlawn Road, I'll have them up, every last one of them. And I'm telling that now. So they took on the wrong person by giving me this trouble. So go on, sorry, I just wanted to make that point.
Okay, I just, like I said, now that you've been so specific about whereabouts we're talking about, because you've never identified where you're from. I've known where you're from, but you've never identified on air where you're from.
There's no need to.
But now you have.
It doesn't matter. The point is, it's on your radio show. There's two bloody big things on your radio show. It's hard not to know where it came from, if you know what I mean. But the point about it is, Adrian, I don't have to live like this. Normal, decent people like me don't have to live like this, and we're not. And I'm not going to live like this from here. As I said, I put up with 30 years of crap in this area. Now, no longer. Now, tonight is a new low for me. And as I said, if I end up in casualty over this, I will be going after them one by one, and I will be prosecuting them for my health as well as everything else. So they took on the wrong person by taking me on, because I don't stop. And I don't give in, and I don't run away. So,
like I said, I do admire your bravery to speak so publicly. About this.
It's not even. No. It's not bravery. It's not bravery stuff we're talking about here. We're talking about pure destruction. We're talking about vandalism. We're talking about scumbags who think that they can break people's faces in, break people's houses up, break people's windows in, and walk away scot-free. That's what we're talking about, and that's what needs to be addressed here tonight. That's why I'm on your show tonight. Because that needs to be addressed, and it needs to be addressed now. And these people who are quivering and hiding behind the hall doors now, you will be got. And you have numbers there. I've already asked the police to come down here. I'll have the council down here.
Have the guards been down yet?
Yes, the guards have been down.
Oh, they've been down and gone?
They've been down, they've been gone, and they've taken the 2 bricks. And Adrian, when I'm talking about 2 bricks, I'm talking about 2 large bricks. We're not talking about small bricks. We're talking about cement bricks. So these people had this intent in their mind, obviously, to scare me off, to stop me from going after them. No, it's not going to happen. And I guarantee I'll stand out there to my death now and I'll take them on. Because that's how much I feel about the low scum of this area and areas like it.
And it's something, it's just the irony of this conversation tonight is shocking, because it's something that you've spoken about on the programme on numerous occasions, to the annoyance of a lot of people, it has to be said. But
Adrian, I've spoken this point to everybody. I've said this to everybody. I'm not the first, and I certainly won't be the last, who will have a window or their face broke on the street. But I'll tell you what it is, or what I will do tonight on this programme. I didn't want to become the party of programme that on this way. But the point about it is, I will say it to you is, I will go out there now, and I will make sure that nobody has to suffer this again by any tow rag in Finglas, Ballymun, Ballyfermot, or anywhere else. Because now they gave me the mandate to go out and do more about this kind of carry on. And I will take these people on full blast, because this is not the way any decent person should live. And I actually urge them now to ring in, because I want to hear them now. I really want to see what they're made of. So get on the phone, lads, and ring in.
Here's the thing, John, they won't.
No, because they're scum, and they know they're scum. But now they've bitten off a bit more they can chew. I wouldn't have broken somebody's window. If I didn't like somebody, I certainly wouldn't have broken the windows. If I didn't like somebody, I certainly wouldn't have been harassing them on the streets. If I didn't like somebody, I would just say, leave it to them.
John, like I said to you, I do admire your bravery, and that's what it is. Because look, John, a lot of people are terrified of these young fellas.
Well, I'm not.
Okay, a lot of people are terrified. There are people who are calling in from the area right now who are afraid to go on.
Well, tell them to get on. This is the whole point. Tell them to put them on now. Tell them to come on, because these people need to be addressed. And they need to be addressed now.
Okay,
when I find them, I'll put them on the radio. I will certainly ring their identities in when I find them. And I have no problem ringing that back in. So tell them to come on and put them on the radio for once in their life. And then maybe the rest of us around here will get peace. And we won't have to be putting up with this shit from them every day we get up.
Let me bring in some more calls on what we've been talking about, the situation with John. This text just come in. I can't ring in because I'm well known in Finglas. I'm not a scumbag. That place is a kip. I'm from Finglas West, and I've heard about 35 houses being broken into. They're all dirty scum, mad out of it, cracking heads and sleeping tabs. They tried breaking into my house, didn't happen, chased him across the back gardens, but he got away. You wouldn't believe the amount of people, and this shocks me, John. This is why I'm admiring your bravery. The amount of people who have texted in, and when we ring them, these are just people in the area, just residents, who are just terrified to talk. Are you there, John? You there, John? He has neighbours actually popping into him now. Are you there, John?
Yeah, it's Adrian on the phone. So, yes, Adrian.
Sorry, I'm after saying the amount of texts we're after getting in from around that area, but from people who are terrified to actually talk to us on the radio.
I understand there, Adrian. That is the point about... I am part of a residents group, and I understand that. The point about it is, Adrian, that these people do no longer need to be afraid, because I can tell you one thing: these cowards that have done that tonight, these scumbags that have done that tonight, do not shield them, do not hide them, expose them now for who they are, because the numbers are there, and you have the numbers there who rang in, so it's easy now to track them down once and for all. So anybody who's in Finglas at the moment who knows who done this, tell them to ring her in, because I can guarantee you one thing.
But the reality of it is, John, as I said earlier on, they're not going to.
Well, they can do it.
Because the sort of cowards that do stuff like that, who throw bricks through people's front windows, are exactly that. They're cowards. They run.
That's true, Adrian, but
if they weren't cowards, they'd stand there making faces at you. They didn't. They ran.
Oh, no, they ran. Should have gone up there around the corner there before. I could see the hoodies and the covered face and the hoodies. Again, running around the corner. Oh, they know who they are, and they're sitting up there. And I don't think they're as clever now as they thought they were. But as I said, I'm a diabetic and I have heart condition. If I take a heart attack and my diabetes goes all over the place, and I end up in casualty, I'll have them. I will do them big time.
All right, stay there for a second, John. Eamon, you're on FM104. How are you, Eamon?
How's it going, Adrian?
Grand, thanks, Eamon. What did you want to say?
Adrian,
I want to say to John there. See, John?
Yep.
John, how's it going?
How you doing?
Horrible what happened just tonight, buddy.
Yeah, well...
I can tell you now, I agree with you wholeheartedly.
Yes, okay, good.
Anyone done that to my mother's or my house, I'd be out them. I always have a snooker cue, the butt end of it behind my hall door. Always.
Yeah. No, I don't believe in violence. I believe in using the...
No, neither do I. But if anything like that happened to me, I'd be out like a leak.
Oh, yeah. Well, I didn't see her. It's just that the two bloody bricks came through the window. I didn't
listen to the show. I heard it. And it's horrible.
You could hear the impact of it as well.
Yes, exactly. It's horrible for any any person to go through that.
Mm. Oh, I'm not the first. It has happened around here. This is a regular occurrence.
That's what I'm saying. It could be a 7-year-old woman.
Mm. Oh, it has happened to women around here as well. Yeah.
Well, it was it was your mother up until she passed away, John. Is that right?
You see, Adrian, just to give you, my mother here has only passed away 6 months, and she couldn't even open the window here because of carry on outside that wall. Outside the wall there. She couldn't open her door because we were throwing snowballs at her. She'd walk up the road and they'd call her a fat C. She couldn't walk. And in the end...
this is an elderly woman?
This is an elderly woman. And she sat here in her home. She couldn't walk up that road to her own local Tesco shop because of these tow rags in the area.
Sorry, John.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm actually sitting here fuming.
Well, you and me both, man. You and me both.
Because if that had been my mother, I would have found out. I would have found out who it was.
Oh, I think the police knows who's carrying on around here, and so does the council. But it's too late now for them.
But why aren't they doing anything about it then? Do you know what I mean?
Because at the end of the day, it takes something.
The guards afraid or the council afraid?
It's going to take something like this to get something done. I know that sounds stupid, but it's going to take something like this to get something done about the area.
Yeah, I agree.
That's the way it's going to do.
And like we said, whether it was intentional or not, though, those young lads who did that, intentionally doing it live on the radio, they probably didn't realise they were doing it live on the radio.
They didn't. I assumed they didn't. I mean, I personally don't give a toss whether they did or not. Adrian, I'm going to let you go on this and you can debate that because I have a chap here I want to have a few words
All right.
And listen.
Well, look, we'll keep in touch with you, John. I sincerely hope you're okay. I don't blame you being shook up and as angry as you are.
No, Adrian, you have the numbers there who rang in. Just pass that on to the police and get the identities and then I'll have them in court and I'll also have the council at the door. And in the meantime, if I end up in casualty, I will be doing them for my health as well. So, as the fella says, they're taking on a bit more they can chew tonight.
All right, well, look, John, I wish you well and we'll keep in touch with you.
Yeah, not a bother.
Thanks very much indeed. Susan, you're on FM104. How are you, Susan?
Hiya, Adrian.
Now, Susan, what do you want to say on this?
I'm living in Ballymun, and you know what? I swear to God, that would not happen in Ballymun. That poor chap is after being through the wars. I'm after listening from the start to these windows getting smashed. I couldn't believe it. I actually thought it was a joke.
So did I. I didn't know. I mean, it's live radio. I didn't know what was going on, to be honest, until we rang him back. And yeah, it was real. You heard it live on the radio.
Can't believe it. Like, Ballymun is supposed to be branded a bad place, but that would not happen around my area. And I live in Poppendry. Yeah, that would not happen in my area whatsoever because neighbours look after everybody around here. For them little scumbags that done that to that chap. His mother's 6 months dead. I tell you, obviously they have mothers themselves. So where is their mothers when they are doing all these things? I have 5 kids myself. I'm a lone parent. But I tell you, I know exactly where my kids are every single night. I wouldn't have it. It's disgraceful. The county council should be out there tomorrow morning. The TD should be out there, down that road to them roads where these little scumbags are supposed to be, and they should be doing something about that. That's mental torture alone.
It is. It's shocking. And like I said, I don't know if those little tow rags, because that's what they are, knew that the man was on the radio and did it on purpose. I don't know what the story was.
That would send you into a mental home.
Absolutely.
Alone. Like, imagine, like, I couldn't even have that in my head, going to bed not knowing if my windows are going to be put in, if my back garden is going to be robbed. Like, it's unbelievable.
Sam, you were in a similar situation and you were actually run out of where you were living.
No, it wasn't myself, Aidan. It was a friend of mine.
Okay.
He's lived in Fairlawn Road for 12 years, and it was known in the community that he was gay. He was living there for a long time, very peacefully. He was from Ballymun originally, but very peacefully. And just over a period of time, obviously the scumbags from the area realised that he was living there and started targeting the house. So he had numerous things happen to him between the windows put through was the least of his worries. He had his back door was kicked in, his front door was burnt through. They put petrol bombs through the letterbox, burnt down his front door. They broke his windows nearly every weekend. The car.
And this was on Fairlawn Road as well.
Oh yeah. It's actually gotten to a point where one weekend he was in his home at like 2 o'clock on a Sunday afternoon, and one of the neighbours rang to say that his washing line was on fire out the back garden.
Jesus Christ.
And this is 2 o'clock on a Sunday afternoon, one Saturday evening.
And what happened? He ended up having to leave?
Well, I tell you, he had a mortgage on the house and he's had to board up the house with no help from local TDs, no help from councillors, no help from gay rights alliances. Nobody stood in his corner to fight him on this. He had bought that house on Fairlawn Road, was paying a mortgage for it, more so than half of the neighbours there, I can tell you. And he had to board that house and is now renting a property with a boarded house which he is still paying a mortgage for. My
God almighty. Can't even rent the place out.
Who'd take it?
That's my point, yeah.
Honest to God, who would take it? That man was in fear of his life. And I can tell you, I've heard all your callers ringing in there. And the guy, obviously, my sympathies go out to him because I know exactly what he's living with those windows going through. But he's talking about getting the council down tomorrow morning. My friend had councillors and the local council because he bought the house off the corporation. And he had them in there on a weekly basis having meetings to see if they would buy him out of that property so that he could move out of there into any other house in any other area. And they kept saying no. The local council did not stand behind my friend in that house. And I can tell you that with my hand on my heart, they did not fight to get him out of that house. He had to walk away from his mortgage and live. He's now renting privately and has to still pay a mortgage or they'll pull him through the courts for because Dublin City Council would not move him from that house which he was paying a mortgage for into any other house in any other area which he would continue to pay a mortgage for, be it whether the value of the house was less than the one he was living in.
This is shocking, it really is. Now, and it's not like I'm not aware that stuff like this goes on. We all know stuff like this is going on, but to hear it actually happening live on a radio programme, for all to hear, is fairly shocking, to be honest. Let me bring just a couple more calls because I want to move on from this. John Paul, you're on FM104. How are you?
How you doing, Adrian? I was hoping to speak to John. I went through the same kind of thing that John went through there. Basically, going back a few years, 2007, I was living in the Clondalkin area. The house and my mother's house were put through so many times. My car was nearly petrol bombed, and one night I came home from my girlfriend's house and a few lads throwing beer bottles tried smashing up the car. Of course, I went after them, put them up the field, and then I was stabbed twice in the back by them, taken away in the hospital with 250 stitches in my back. And went on over a few years, carried on again, was getting put through, so on. Guys come down getting threatened on the street. Went to court, the 4 lads got the sentence over, so nothing was done about it. So, like, I'm really pissed off at the justice system's over it, you know.
Yeah, don't blame you for that. And would you be advising somebody like John to... he was being very brave there.
He was, but I sent in a text, like, probably the worst thing he could do is go after him. Like, if it's in the hands of the guards, let the guards do the job and just see what happens from there. Because he's only opening another can of worms by going after these lads.
All right. And did you end up having to move?
I did, yeah. I had to move out of the area now, and it came to a stage where I moved out and my mum was still getting trouble, or windows were put through again. It came to a stage where we had to put up CCTV onto the house. That's how bad it got. Now, ever since we put the CCTV up, it has died down, but nothing has happened yet, but the people are still around the area, you know.
All right, and let me bring in just one or two more very quick calls. Anne, you're on FM104. How are you, Anne?
Online, is it?
That's you, yes?
Okay, yeah. Basically, I think the whole fabric of society has broken down, especially with the young people. They have absolutely no respect for anything or anybody. And if I had my way, I would be opening up, you know, the way they know they can't be prosecuted now. There's nowhere to put them.
They can be prosecuted, but they do, if they're under the age of 18, they don't carry a criminal record with them through their life. And yeah, they all know that.
But there's nowhere to put them. They need to be detained and, you know, at least for 6 months. I would open up all the old army barracks and I'd put them in it and let them cop themselves off and learn that you cannot go around in life treating people like it's gone beyond a joke. I mean, they're going out, they know they can do anything they like because under the age of 18, isn't that what you said, Adrian?
Yep.
Nothing can happen. They go to court, and the court can do nothing, maybe give them a bit of communal service, which probably wouldn't turn up to. I would open up all the old army barracks and I put them into it. I'm not going in the opposite direction.
There he is, out his back and joined.
Discipline.
Well, as we spoke about only a couple of nights ago on the programme, it's gone, basically. Tara, you're our last caller on this. What do you want to say, Tara?
Hiya.
How are you?
Hiya. My friend lives, well, she doesn't anymore, but she used to live in Rathvilly Park down in Finglas South.
Mm-hmm.
And one night we had this going back, the X Factor. We had a little party, you know, the girls and stuff like that. But the kids were upstairs and they were watching DVD. And it was a bright sunny evening. And she had it kind of, you know, a big garden at the side. And what would you say, the lads or the boys or whatever from the area. And she was a bit scared. She was only renting. And she asked them, please, do you mind moving? No, you're fine, yeah, right. 15 minutes later, just as we settled down, and luckily it was like, you know, we weren't sitting at the window and the kids weren't there, the windows were smashed. It was just unreal. And apparently there was a note there as well, like saying, oh yeah, you know who we are.
Unbelievable. Oh, she's after getting cut off. That was a bit abrupt. A couple of your texts before we wrap this up. It just shows you what a lot of Dublin people are like. If that was Belfast, such action would not be tolerated. They have principles, says that texter. It happens in the country as well. It was happening to my girlfriend until I stayed one night with a shotgun and I went out after them and fired 2 shots over them, and that was the end of it. She has since moved, says Alan in Kildare. Adrian, those bastards will... Oh no, I won't read that out. People in Drimna do that to my 90-year-old granddad who lives on his own. His windows have been put through countless times and it makes me feel sick. He is an innocent man and the guards don't help.